We're going to talk about working capital. And I really subtitled this Real Savings with an Integrated Platform because in the case of working capital, much like in the case of many of our treasury areas, the savings that you get and the efficiencies and effectiveness that you get aren't made up ones. They are really actual honest savings that you can gain today with this. And we'll talk about that, but we're excited to have this topic. And Haresh, thank you for taking time out of your schedule. In looking at this, we found that there were really 4 different types of customers that were affected and how they were affected in 4 different categories. The first of those is companies who've had significant revenue and cash impact on themselves. They're pretty straightforward, and you would see those. Macy's, for example, Frontier Airlines, Marriott, and believe it or not, Pizza Hut and Wendy's. Many of these companies have declared bankruptcy or have found that they need to reorganize under Chapter 13 or Chapter 11 based on some issues and issues that they're having with cash. Others had significant cash flow challenges because of their customers, the durable goods industry, the food industry. Why is it so important for people, from your perspective, Haresh, to be keeping an eye on these things, and how does that affect cash flow and working capital?
Sure, John. So I come from the treasury background, and I work with treasurers and treasury organizations in my role, and they're always thinking about, how do I manage liquidity better? How do I manage the cash better across the globe, and how do they manage their risk better? So the concepts here on this page are not disconnected from that thought process. They're asking, how do I drive better working capital utilization? Why that question is important? Because if you have better working capital utilization, you have more free cash, you have better liquidity. The second approach around working capital management is centralizing payment operations. This relates to more around the payables operation. So first slide we saw was more around receivables. On the payable side also, there's this comprehensive portfolio of applications. One of the things customers want to do is get a centralized view of their payments.
There's a couple of different dimensions that we walk through, and these will change a little bit depending on what type of processes that we're looking at. But like for an example here, if I pick cash management as an example, we will start off with looking at your functional requirements, where we're looking at all of your end-to-end processes functionally, as to making sure that all the processes that you're using, that we're bouncing those up against your best practices. We're analyzing all of your processes, looking at what are your cash position, what tools you're using, how are you looking at the information? Are you using straight through processing? Are you using manual spreadsheets? Are you using the bank portals? How are you making your investment decisions, and how are you going about funding decisions that you may have? Are you using netting? Are you using various cash concentration using your ERP, or going directly through the banks? What are your functional aspects of your processes? And then we go through your operational parts, where we're going to look at what kind of mechanisms are you using to be able to collect and process your data and bring in your cash position together.